Hi, I'm Bailey Branscombe, and I am presenting the appropriate use of the Internet Prezi. Um, First thing is that the Internet is a large network, and it can be very, very useful. We just need to educate on how it can be used correctly. A lot of people don't even realize that they are not using it correctly. So this Prezi is to kind of help people understand how to use it correctly. It is important to follow the guidelines appropriately on the internet for your own good and to try not to copyright anything or to get into any mess on social media or anything like that. First, we'll talk about internet safety. So, what's the big deal? Who's all on the internet? Like, what all information can they see about you? Can you block different things? These are kind of questions that people that might not know exactly how to use the internet would not know. Um, at schools, they definitely do block sites. There is, first of all, a permission slip, though, that can be sent home, just so that way, if while on the internet doing a school related site, a student accidentally accesses something not school related, the school isn't liable for that. And there are also permission slips that way that a school can publish the child's picture or name on their school website. Some parents don't really want their child to have their name out there for anyone to see, which is understandable. And then some families have foster children or are going through adoption or something, and they're just not allowed. It's not necessarily that they don't want to, they're just not allowed to let that child's name be published on the internet for their safety. So those permission slips need to be sent home from schools. Um, the restrictions that can be put on internet and these can be put on internet anywhere. Parents can put these restrictions on cell phones, smartphones, on laptops, on iPads, on computers. There, there are many sites that aren't necessarily suitable for children and that are distracting. And parents in schools, libraries, or any other places where students and children access the internet, they can set up these restrictions, and they normally restrict social media sites like Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or Snapchat and other social media sites, and they try to filter out all the inappropriate sites and the uneducational or distracting sites, just so that way the children aren't distracted to watch or to look at other websites while they're at school. Or parents can do this at home, like I said. If a parent is having trouble with their teen on the internet, they can definitely block the social media sites. Um, so internet safety for teenagers. Dangers of the social website said that 71% of teens have established online social networking profiles. So well over half of the teens have social networks, which whether they're Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, any of those things. So they put their information out there so that anyone can see it, and they accept all these people, and people follow them and can see their pictures and their about me's on their profiles. They sometimes put personal information up there that should not be on the internet, like their address or where they're from or where they go to school or phone numbers, email addresses, things like that. Those probably should just stay off of social media, especially for teenagers or people that are not very aware of their surroundings. There are some tips that you can follow just to ensure internet safety. First, don't put your address on social media. Along with address, you don't put your phone number, don't put where you live, where you go to school, how old you are. Set and make sure to set your children or the students or whatever, set the profile to the most private that it can get. Don't accept friend requests from people you don't know. And children that have Facebooks, probably the parents should just keep it to friends and family only, not even distant people that they know. You need to make sure that your children feel comfortable telling you if they stumble upon anything appropriate on the internet, that they feel comfortable coming to you if someone strange messages them or tries to get a hold of them, or if they find a site that maybe you should block and they don't feel comfortable with it. They definitely need to feel comfortable letting you know. Parents for sure need to monitor social media sites for their children. Um, Make sure that there's no inappropriate behavior going on or pictures or anything like that. That everything is how it should be, and that they are not talking to strangers on their social media sites. Here's a video that I found over social media. It's kind of long. It's called Safe Web Surfing. I won't go ahead and show it now just because it is a little bit longer, but feel free whenever this gets shared to go back and watch the video. It was pretty funny, and it talked about four main things that we need to do to have us be safer on the internet, and some of them I mentioned in my internet safety right here. But that was just, I thought it was good for, especially for teens and kids to watch, because it is funny and kid friendly, and they will be able to follow it and stay interested in it. Um, Next is internet legality. What are the different laws that you might break on the internet, and how can you prevent yourself from doing that? It is important for all those using the internet and other sources created by other people to understand copyright. So if you're using the internet to write a project, like a paper or do a PowerPoint, or if you're using the internet to look up music or movies or books, it is really important that you understand copyright and how to correctly go about this. Copyright is the exclusive right to make copies, license, and otherwise exploit a literary, musical, or artistic work, whether printed, audio, video, etc. And that definition is found on dictionary.com. So copyright just protects these people and their works of art and literary works and musical works, just so that way they get credit for it, and people can't just go and take it and edit it and pretend that it was theirs. Copyright. How do you know if it's copyright? The public domain is what holds all the pieces that are not under copyright. So after pieces are through with their copyright, because they're only copyrighted for so long, they will go into the public domain, and then anyone can use them. A work that is published will remain under copyright protection for 70 years after the creator dies, and then it will be in the public domain. So that is the law that is in effect now. If I were to publish something right now and it were to be under copyright, after 70 years after my death, then that work would go into the public domain. So it's very rare that you're going to find, actually it's pretty much impossible that you're going to find a recent work that has been copyrighted that you can use as your own that's in the public domain. These are very old pieces of work that end up in the public domain. Works published before 1978 fall underneath different categories of what is still copyrighted depending on the year it was published. So there's a certain area in there when copyrighted works weren't copyrighted, and they just went straight to the public domain. And then there were areas in there where they said that it was 90 years, I believe, after the person died, and then that in 1978 they changed it to the 70 years after the creator dies. Then it will enter the public domain. So if you're using works that were from before 1978, there's all different rules that go along with that. These were all found in the Fair Use of Copyrighted Materials website. That's where I found all the information on how long you have to wait for a public domain, for something to go into the public domain. Better safe than sorry. There are several ways that you could break copyright laws, and you don't necessarily mean to. Say you get online and you find a cool video and you show your class or something like that. It is important to check all pieces of work for copyright, or just purchase it outright. If you're not sure that you're copywriting, you probably are. So you should probably just go ahead and purchase that work, so just so that way you're not doing anything illegal. Not that it's going to be you would get caught for sure or anything, but just better safe than sorry. You don't want to take someone else's work and pretend that it's your own. By simply purchasing the item instead of using a free online, one can be sure that they are not copywriting or taking credit for someone else's hard work. So just go ahead and purchase it if you're worried about it, and if you don't care about it that much to purchase it, then you probably shouldn't use it in the first place. And then I also found a video about copyright and fair use laws. This video was also pretty funny and cute. I think that kids can follow it pretty well. It's got little cartoon characters that go along with it, so you can also go back and watch that if you'd like. And last are internet ethics. On the technology posting ethical question site, I found this. Downloading a pirated song is one thing. Copying 15,000 directly from your friend's iPod onto yours is another. Apple won't allow you to do this, but it is easy with a third-party bridge device like MyShare on myshare.com. Question: is this ethically any worse? We face ethical questions all through life, not just on the internet. Should I eat a cookie before dinner, or should I listen to my mom and wait till after? Or should I don't know, go back and pick this up and take it to who it belongs to, or should I just leave it there? We face all different types of ethical questions in life, and it's definitely no different on the internet for sure. So first is ethics about downloads. There are many different sites in which you can illegally download things, and that does not make it any more right. It is still totally illegal, and you should not partake in those. It is important just to steer clear of these sites. Don't even go near them. LimeWire, FrostWire, and other sites with pirated movies and sites with free book downloads are all sites that are very tempting. I know before I've tried to look up places to buy a book online, and some of the first things that pop up online are free downloads of the book. So I understand that it is very tempting, but it is very important to steer clear of free downloading these works of people's literary art, because they worked hard on this and they definitely deserve credit. And I know people like to say that they make enough money, but it is their work, and there's no justifying it if you take it for free, because that's basically stealing it. There's also ethical situations when it comes to cyberbullying. Many teens are on social media, and there is quite a bit of cyberbullying going on. Kids get on there and are mean to each other and talk bad about each other and put untrue things online about each other. Within these sites, there are many cases of cyberbullying because it's easier to do this over the internet, not face to face. These children feel invincible on the internet because they're not face to face with somebody, so that's the place that they're most likely to say something about somebody or put something out there that might not be true. So it is important as parents and teachers and students to be aware of this and to try to steer clear of this and not do it, because it can hurt people's feelings, and doesn't make it any more right than doing it face to face. It is still 100% bullying, and you need to make the correct ethical decision and not doing it. So do what's right. When given the option to access a site that allows illegal downloading, think twice. Be sure to monitor students on social media for bullying, and always do what's right and as you would want others to do to you. So be sure not to take someone else's work for your own, and just monitor the social media sites, make sure there's no bullying, and really try not to illegally download things. Appropriate use of the internet. The internet can serve many different purposes, so don't take advantage of that. It's awesome. The internet has brought the world a long way, and it is important to protect yourself and the students against the internet. Even though it's great, there are bad things on there. Be sure to watch for the sites they go to and make sure pictures don't get published without permission, and do not copyright or allow other people to copyright, and help them make the ethically sound decisions. And then here are some of my references. I used quite a bit of sites. I had some quotes in there, and then I had two YouTube videos. So if you get a chance, just go back and watch those YouTube videos. It really gives you a better understanding of being able to appropriately use the internet. But that is all I have, so thank you.